So I was gonna make a video about a certain thing, but now it's gonna be modified about slightly different things because I got all this new information. Like I said, my little sister, who's not my little sister, but in a way like a family member, in a way. But I spent enough time with her to not just finally detest her because like the mom's so negative. Like I remember that just I couldn't be around them physically. I couldn't. I didn't know what to do, how to handle that type of negativity, whatever the fuck it is, the energy they have. I didn't know how to deal with it until I started to encounter it in other places. It's just too much. It makes the air heavy, and then if I get sick, I feel like I'm going to die. Well, I learned. I did get help because I had found it. I'd found it profoundly affects me, and when I encounter it, especially if they come over to this place, I'd have to fucking get the hell away from them. They'd come to see my dad. I'd be as far as hell as I could away from it, like either in my room or out the fucking side. And it's mainly was just centered in two people that just I didn't know. I didn't know why. I was so repulsed by these individuals. They'd never done nothing to me. Well, now I got a better idea. So the brother does go to jail. He's talking shit, yelling at everybody. He's a Michael too, and he's very smart. But they didn't find out till the fucking 12th grade. So I don't know his whole story. I try to communicate with this guy, but he's probably going to go to prison. And in his mind, he's got this alternate world, but he doesn't know how to distinguish from where his delusion is delusion and doesn't have the proper motivation to love. Now, when he's in jail, he can read the Bible and help people and do all this. But to his family, he treats them like shit. He's yelling and he's got a sword. All this stuff I experienced with my own. My sword's in the ground over here, stuck in the earth. And my story about my world is called Sword Up, Sword Down, because it makes like a Z, which is Zayn, and Zayn is two swords, because the sword up is, I've got the symbols of it. It shows like, warfare on one way and warfare of another type, spiritual warfare and then like material warfare. That's why the cross looks like a sword too. In the Hebrew letter, the Zayin, the lovers, is Gemini, which is it's two different things. It's either the hero is trying to rescue the female, but in a negative sense, it could also be that's a trap, the luring in of the hero by the monster and the pretense of the of the woman or the lover that doesn't actually exist because it's a trap. It's if you have a not lover woman, then you do have a monster. It's a trap. You don't have a balanced participation, partnership, pairing union, and we are halves of wholes in this place. And yeah, you could pick anybody, but you have soulmates, and you have people that have come to this world already configured as souls, split into pieces to be their own individual process working itself out. To some degree, I know that this is going on with me and my ex, that we are soulmates to some degree like that. But her focus is on getting a handle on the outer world, whereas mine's getting a handle on the inner world. So she's done well for herself. I'm proud of her because she used to be a mess. But in regards to us, me and her, she's not able to handle the communication between us. She's not able to process it. She's not even able to send me a picture of my kids grown up because that's the proof right there. Like I have to live in this past and have the vision of the past and the disconnect, but it doesn't mean I'm defeated by it. I go inside and do my work inside of my heart. And then to do that service for the world requires something else for you too. Because if you're going to have the compassion and you want to link your heart to the world, it's like when you have the brain and the heart alpha theta coherence, you get a state of awareness that I've called it the extraordinary consciousness. That's what it is. It's extraordinary consciousness. It's just unlike anything else. It's beyond joy. It's beyond bliss. It's just amazing. That is what it is. And it is possible. It can happen a lot of different ways, but the way for it to begin to happen is by getting alpha theta coherence. Now in my room, I've got this crazy theta wave playing, and it's some sort of vibration, and it's in the room because something moved and it stopped. But if I go in there now for the past couple of days, it's just been because I used to play those brain waves. I've listened to all those. I know what the fuck it is. That's the one. That's the one that puts you in the dream and gives you the super soldier powers. So we're all capable of accessing and doing some of these things, but I just heard this story and it was so bad because, like, I mean, he's gonna kill everybody and he doesn't help at his house. These are just real negative people, but the mom can understand what I'm talking about because I talk to her quite a bit, enough often to where I'm not lost on what's going on, but I don't have the son as a friend. I try to get to talk to him, and I wish to help him like a Michael would want to help himself because he's gone dark and he had got fucked over. He was married to a woman for 14 years. She wanted to split up one day, wanted him out the next, and then married her fucking supervisor at the Walmart. What a bitch. And they live in the house like fucking right behind him. So he's all fucked up, which I can understand. Get in that situation. That's supposed to be a catalyst for you to change, to be able to be what he has in his mind going on. But he's not able to get there, and he's not going to get it. He's probably going to go to prison. He's not going to get the experience that he thought from that because he thinks it's county jail, or it's going to be a walk in the park, or whatever the fuck he thinks. It's not. Meanwhile, he's talking shit, yelling at everybody, upset, saying he's going to kill people, walking around with a sword. It's sad. And I feel the same about my little sister. Because little sister, I like little sister. You know, I've spent time with her. I couldn't stand her, though, when I first knew her. Because she was just so much of a. She doesn't care about stuff. She's a master of her own realm. She wants to have the control in the way that wrong thinking. You know, she's not interested in what the truth is. In like not in a way that where I'm like, you know that the information you have isn't correct, and you still don't mind having the base that's not correct. No, she doesn't, because she's not there either. But like, as much as it was put on me to be a necessary task to help her not be so negative as her mom, now her mom's not negative as she used to be, and she's, you know, so it's hit and miss with her. You know, I know that she's capable, but she doesn't like, for me, because I know that like I need, I have the want to need to work together like that. She doesn't have the output part, and is falling for the bullshit, which is the deception of your own belief system wrong, you know. And she's caught in it. They're both caught in it. I'd explained to her, the mom, like, what's the process that I'm going through, why it's necessary, and it feels like it's hell, or descending into the earth, why it would be necessary. It's because to have that heart that's accepting everything as it is, you want the wisdom to get through it without abandoning the heart. Requires that crossing. And it's weird because it's like the negatives go around, but the positives go through the heart. So it's like getting a perception of both. I'm not saying I have to walk the evil path. I'm not going to have evil actions and wrong action or wrong speaking. I'm not going that path. But to be aware of what um, that state of mind would be without the heart uh, is fulfilled by the heart, because you have to go through it's like you have to be in the world, but like right now we're not aware of our outside of the experience. Some of us don't even know that that's a thing. I'm quite aware of it as a thing. I know that most of the bulk of whatever I am is outside. That's the consciousness, and there's something of the evil that's out there outside of the earth that doesn't participate in the process of the earth. So in a way, it's like the Russian doll thing. And there's so many different ways one can experience and do this, because we're like snowflakes, but we all have to follow the same road home, the royal road. And there's plenty of wrong ways to do life, but I mean, do you want to come back and have to do it again? Did you come here for a purpose? I mean, do you think that your purpose is doing something in the world? Can you be the purpose that you are? Do you have to have something that makes you think that you can't by some actions and works that you do? See, people don't think like that. They don't. It's not natural. The things of the spiritual realm are foolishness to the carnal man. This is true. This is good shit. That's good shit out the Bible. That's real talk. But the being of Yahweh, or whatever the fuck took over the chosen ones, that's an archon. That's a negative being. That is not a positive being at all. And a lot of people got caught onto that, but we're in the end times. I'm from the church. You can read. I can read the Old Testament too. I could just know that those people are going through the process, but without the Christ element, the process does not complete the same way. What does Yahweh say about? Does He give you? I think hell doesn't even come into play until after the Old Testament's over. There's no promises for those people. There's no afterlife reward. They don't have an after. They get blessed or cursed. There's no consideration of their afterlife. We think it's hell because we have the New Testament. That's just better understanding that's brought from Christ. As far as I know, even the entity that is Satan is only alluded to be the serpent, and there's the archangel light bearer, but we're not told. All the things we assume about all that are from, well, the serpent must be the devil. It doesn't say the serpent's the devil. It doesn't say that. We don't know what's going on with that. That is a mystery even unto this day. You can assume it's the devil. It may make sense. But you could also assume that Yahweh's the devil. And it makes sense that the serpent would be trying to free the being, and that they won't die. Their physical body will die, yeah. So it's a big mess unless you can sort it out, and you have to sort it out yourself. It's personal. It is personal. The world's personal, and it's objectively difficult to find that out if you have certain gifts that you've come with, and you're not able to figure out how to become a human because you're living in fantasy land in your head, and you still have gifts that you could be doing for other people that they need it, and that when you fulfill the gift, you have a joy in being able to do something like that beyond what you can comprehend. Joy, peace beyond all understanding. It doesn't happen. That extraordinary consciousness doesn't happen when you do this or that or the other. It happens when you put yourself in the fucking alchemical furnace. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And as I go through and I'm reading my dad's music and looking at different stuff, and going through it in my mind. Today is my dad's birthday sign for on the earth. He was a blue hand. So it's like he's given me the gift of that hand and that I needed it. I need it. Because it's like how you play instrument. We both have different styles of instrument, but I have a different style of man of the world, on the world. But I have a destiny. Every time I hear Metatron go into this shit about destiny, I'm like, I know that that entity, that being, that psychopath motherfucker that he's referring to, the human leftist, the one that's famous for being a monster, telling all of it. I don't know who could even listen to such a person. When my alchemical process is done, that guy's not going to be in existence anymore. That's my destiny. That's what I think. I've gone through this before where I wanted to see if the things inside actually, if you do clean up your problematic psychology, I wanted to test this out a long time ago, and I found that there was like if you had a Kim Jong Il and then he was gone, that when I fixed that thing, that being was gone. There was no dictator of that variety anymore. And I'm like, wow, wow. Yeah, I can't tell you the name of them because they don't have a name. They don't have a name. They disappeared. I just remember doing it and what happened. So I'm like, this is very weird that we would be manifesting all of this whole experience, because the closer it gets to you and the people, the things, and the stuff like that, the harder it can be to discern sometimes, but also the easier. You can look in the world and see real clear signs of what's wrong and bad that you think. But if it's in the world, it's in you. You're it. All the fucked up shit, all the, this is why I think this whole QAnon and all this fucking white hat shit is just bullshit, because they're not, they're not, they're not doing nothing. They've not taken, nobody's got jail. None of that shit's happened. That's just a Patriot Pacification Act. You see this? So I'm doing this now that I've reached my down going bottom and I've got that hand, so I can do this. It's necessary for me. It just is. I hope that the story that I hear from my my friends can be better, but I will try to consider him if he goes into the underworld of prison. But I told little sister, I was like, he probably does need prison, but the way that it is now, you probably do need death. And I don't mean that like I want her to die. I don't. I'd rather be a better friend and care about somebody that cares about her. Like, and I know that she could be, because she's so obsessively, compulsively wanting to, because she's treating a relationship like it's a substance. And people are not drugs. Okay, people are not things. There are other aspects of yourself to be alchemized, worked with, and treated like fucking decent humans. Have a nice day.